Who was crying?
Adrian Bronner was crying.
Wow.
Real tears.
Wow.
Because Errol put him on Goofy Street.
Errol who?
Errol Spence put him on Goofy Street. He hit him with a combination of the hook, and his ass started wobbling. And us as coaches, our job is to make sure the fighters are safe. And Errol was an amateur, and Adrian was already a world champion. So we said, oh, stop. And we stopped it. And then Adrian's like, no, let's go. And we was like, no, that's enough. Come on out of the ring. And he couldn't accept the fact that, you know, the dude had just did it to him, and he started crying and wouldn't get out the ring.
But he didn't drop him, right?
No, he didn't go down. He just wobbled him so bad that we said, oh, let's stop it. So no, he didn't hit the camera.
Because there was all types of rumors that he got dropped, he was knocked out. But Floyd, also there's a rumor about Earl and Floyd, and Earl giving Floyd a black eye.
Gave Floyd hell. All up in his ass, and they expected the boy to get tired. After 2 rounds, or the 5-minute rounds, Floyd said, that's it, get out. And Errol said, and again, Floyd said, no, man, go ahead on, you done, that's it. And Errol stood there, didn't speak, he just shook his head. And I said, you want to keep going? He said. And Errol went back out there and got in his shit for 2 more rounds, and there was some hooping and hollering on the Mayweather side whenever he would land a jab to the body, which didn't affect Errol at all. But they were waiting on Errol to get tired. He never got tired. And yes, he did give him a black eye, because I see it. I was there.
You think
and
that's...
then after that, when Errol got out the ring, Floyd told the rest of the sparring partners, that's it, I'm done. I'm done for the day. Y'all can go home.
You think that's the reason now he's been talking a lot about Earl Spence wearing a TMT patch and possibly signing a TMT? Or is it just because he believes in the talent that he sees?
Well, he saw it firsthand. And the Errol's a good kid, you know. He's a really good kid. But, you know, I don't know what the reasoning would be for him to want to sign him beyond the fact that, yeah, he did get in his ass. And he knows he's a hard worker and he's a good person, you know, but I don't see Errol doing something like that. Errol's not that type of person. That's not the type of situation he would want to be in.
Now, why would a guy who's already signed to Heyman sign to a promoter, though?
He's not going to. He's not going to.
Just Mayweather talking it up?
Probably just Mayweather talking it up. But it's nice to have somebody like that say some good things about you. You know what I mean? It is nice for that. But after the sparring session was over, he came down out of the ring, came over to Errol and said, that's what I needed. I needed that. That's the good shit that I needed. And then he looked at me and he said, oh, you brought him in here. You brought a ringer in here. That's why he's getting down today. He got Coach in here with him. But it is what it is. You know what I mean? I've known Errol for a long time. I worked with him for a long time. So he called me and he said, hey, I'm in Vegas. I'm going over to spar. Can you come with me? I said, yes. He went in there and handled his business. I think he was here about 2 more weeks and the man didn't even spar with him no more.
How have things been with you and Floyd? Because, you know, over the past year, you've called him a boy a few times. The boy up the street.
The little boy down the street.
You say he don't fight young black fighters. I mean, you were in
LBDS, a little boy down the street. It is what it is, man.
But when you guys see each other, is it cordial?
It's very cordial. He's a very respectful guy when he see me. Game recognized game, real recognized real. That's what they say where we from. That's what they say where we from. So yeah, he from Michigan, which is not far from where we from, originally Cleveland, Ohio. You know what I mean? And they recognize that. And you know, I think beyond that, just like the same thing with Errol. He went in there with him face up. Heads up, Errol didn't back down, and Errol gave him a hard time, and he can look at that and say, okay, this guy's a real fighter. Same thing with me as a person. He look at me and he say, oh, he's a real person. So when I see him, he shake my hand, he say hello to me. The dumb shit that, well, it was typical of Bronner not shaking Shawn's hand today. And then Floyd turned to Shawn and shook his hand. And then I was walking away and he said, hey, coach. And he stopped me and I reached back and he shook my hand. So he's showing that he has respect for what we do. You know?
Now, about that no handshaking, why do you think Broner did that? There was few fighters there, and Maurice Lee, one of Mayweather's sparring partners, he's like, I don't shake hands either. You know, before the fight, we enemies. After the fight, we can shake hands. Is that a good mindset to have, to stay focused, I guess?
I guess it would be because, you know, you need everything you need when you go in that ring. So if that's the way you look at it, fine. Me personally with Shawn, I didn't want him to shake his hand, but that's who Shawn is. So Shawn has his own mindset there. He just decided to extend his hand, but he probably decided to extend his hand just to see what kind of reaction he could get from him, so he could take that to the ring himself. So you diss me right here, I got something for you.
So obviously everyone was nervous. They didn't expect 144 to be made that easy. Broner actually looked good. He's 143 and a half. Did you expect that? Because we all know that he can get above his weight class when not in a fight.
I would have expected it a couple of days ago, but when I kept getting things like he's not going to make it to the interview because he's out running, he's not going to make it to the press conference because he's out working out, I knew he was sweating the weight off. So that's what he did.
So you
The last minute. He was working out this morning.
So you think they struggled to make this weight?
I don't care.
Would it affect the performance?
I don't care. You know what I'm saying? It's not something I care about. I don't look at that, oh, I need that advantage, or I hope we got that advantage. That's not something I care about. All I care about is what he does and what he brings to the table.
But the sole basis of this fight is advantages.
Yeah.
Broner has a lot of them.
Yeah, but we didn't need it. We you know what? We got 8-ounce gloves. He's coming to fight and win. Hopefully, he's coming to fight. If he's not coming to fight, he's coming to box and try to outbox us. And now you're going to have a situation where two boxers are going to have to box and figure that out. And then one of them's going to turn into a fighter and the other one's going to continue to try to be a boxer. And that's going to be a problem. And if he can do that over 12 rounds and he's a better man in that particular situation, then so be it. But I don't think it's going to happen. I don't believe it's going to happen.
How do you guys get bigger than Adrian Broner if you win this fight?
Floyd Mayweather Jr., the little boy down the street that has no interest in fighting us at all.
But you yourself said he hasn't fought a young African American. What makes you think beating Broner is going to be the key to get him in the ring?
You said well, I don't expect him to fight us. You said what would be bigger. I'm telling you what would be bigger. He would be bigger. Bigger than Broner, Pacquiao. You know, we're taking Pacquiao fight. We got absolutely no problem with that.
Would you argue that if Mayweather fight all without Fury, you're going to be able to fight all?
Yeah, no, I feel that the guy that wins this fight, we know Adrian ain't gonna fight him.
If you win, you think that's position?
Yeah, I think it is, but I look at his history. I look at the fact that we bank at the same bank, like Adrian said. He know where we bank at. Why? Because you look, your big brother telling you where we bank at. We, you know, we in the bank at the same time. But considering the fact that kid was a world champion, living on the same side of the street as you, on the same street as you, 1 mile away from you, and you ignore it like it didn't happen, that tells me that you don't want to wake up a sleeping dog. You don't want nothing to do with that. You know what I mean? So he don't really have an interest in fighting us, and that's okay. We're going to whoop on Adrian, and we'll go from there. So we got business to take care of. We're not going to look past him, and that's what we do.
What do you think about Floyd's recent comments saying that, Kareem Mayfield and Andre Bertos are the runner-up for his next fight?
I think it's a joke. I think he's trying to be funny. Obviously, Kareem Mayfield shouldn't be ranked to fight nobody, especially Floyd Mayweather Jr. He's not deserving of that. And for Kareem to run around and say, Errol Spence don't want to fight me, no, listen, dude. They picked somebody that they knew was already in shape and ready to go and can fight in comparison to a guy that wasn't in shape or wasn't ready to go or who hadn't won, you know, very many fights in his last couple of fights. He's coming off a few losses. Okay? You get that phone call on 1 day's notice because you're not winning. They don't call people that are winning on 1 day's notice. That's the reason why you're getting that call. You need to straighten that out so you don't get that phone call, Kareem. And then as far as Andre Berto's concerned, God bless him, good friend of mine, love the kid. If he gets a fight, you know, I hope it works out for him. But if he don't get the fight, he can call us. We be waiting.
Now, I asked what's bigger than Broner. What about Marcos Maidana? Obviously, he's got a lot of popularity after those two fights.
He keeps getting so damn big, they keep telling me he can't fight him. I said, hey, let's get that fight with Marcos. And they're like, he's not going to even start back training until June. Oh, he's not going to be ready to fight until September. I mean, what can you do? You can't, you know what I'm saying? We live in this way year round, so we can't wait on a guy to decide. And now I even hear his trainer say he might not fight anymore. Did you hear that?
I did, but I don't
believe
believe
it, but I'm just saying a guy that's just taking that much time away from it and gaining that much weight in between fights.
Now, Keith Thurman was recently basically saying the same thing. Like, people are upset that he got the Collazo fight, but he was breaking it down and explaining Collazo was the only guy available to take that fight June 11th so that he could, July 11th, so that he could let headline in his hometown. Is that going to happen to you guys where people are not going to be available, or the ones that you want aren't going to be available, and you're going to be forced to take a Collazo type of fight?
Handling up in Saturday night, we'll be ready for September. We live right here. We can go from Battle of Ohio to the Battle of Las Vegas. My kid versus your kid. I'm knocking out all trainers, especially one named Mayweather.
Now, Battle of Ohio.
Wait a minute. I don't have no problems with what's his name, Shawn Porter, but his dad, he ain't no trainer. No, I'm not a trainer, but I am a father. Respect that. Saturday's championship for us, and Sunday be Father's Day for me. So.